Hey everybody, Alex Kazora, SteelersDepot.com back with some actual Pittsburgh Steelers picks after all the speculation and predictions and guessing, frankly, of what would happen on Thursday night, round one of the 2022 NFL Draft. We have our answer. The Pittsburgh Steelers pick at number 20 is Pitt quarterback Kenny Pickett, the hometown kid, at least in terms of where he played his college ball, grew up in Jersey, played at Pitt, and is now a Pittsburgh Steeler. Really felt confident quarterback would be the pick here. The question was who. I went Desmond Ritter in my prediction, but I said all these quarterbacks could have been linked there, but obviously I was wrong about who the actual guy was. It was Pickett. And what's really interesting is that we know that Kenny Pickett was this team's number one quarterback because all the quarterbacks were there. Pittsburgh, the first team to take one in this draft, the only one to take one in round one. And so we know that Pickett, it was their top guy. It's not like Malik Willis or whoever went, spots earlier, and they're always going to be that lingering unanswered question of did they like that other guy more than Pickett? Pickett was their guy. And so as they talked about Mike Tomlin, Kevin Colbert in the post-draft press conference, they like Pickett's maturity. Really, I got the sense was, and Tomlin used the word outright comfort in terms of making an easier and cleaner projection of his game to the NFL level, played in the most pro-style offense. A lot of similar concepts that you'll see in Matt Canada's offense you saw with Pickett at Pitt in terms of pre-snap motion and shifts and some of the boot game and quick game and things like that. So I think that created that sense of comfort. Obviously, they know Pickett the best, being next door to him. Pickett would talk about some of the conversations he would have with Tomlin, after practice and things like that over his years at Pitt. And so when you have such a risk that you take when it comes to finding a franchise quarterback, certainly trying to replace Big Ben, I think for Pittsburgh, they really valued that comfort and again that cleaner projection. Now, is this the right pick? We can debate that and we'll talk about it here in a moment. But I think that was kind of the driving force behind why Pickett became their number one guy. My personal thoughts, you guys know I had my quarterback rankings a couple weeks ago about my top five quarterbacks in this class. I had Pickett as the fourth best quarterback, a second round grade. So what I have taken Kenny Pickett here? No, you guys know my top quarterbacks: Malik Willis, Matt Corral, Sam Howell, all above Kenny Pickett. Obviously, those thoughts don't matter anymore, but that is my framing, and I'm not going to pretend like Pickett was this great first round quarterback when he was my number four quarterback just a couple weeks ago. But the good on Pickett, that pro style offense, taking a profit, a smart quarterback, a good quick decision maker, functional mobility, able to roll to his right, really made some great throws rolling to his right, and obviously broke out in a big way in 2021, throwing for 40 touchdown passes and leading the Panthers to an 11 win season for the first time since I think the Marino days. And so there's obviously going to be comparisons and shades of you passed on Marino back in the 80s, and you're not going to pass on a pick quarterback the next chance that you get. That doesn't mean a whole lot. That's just more of the story of it, but that certainly will be mentioned by many, myself included, just now. From the negative side, to me, I think there's a lack of the elite physical tools in Pickett's game. It's not that he's incredibly deficient in any one area, but you just don't have that dynamic level of arm talent or athleticism, and you can get too caught up in those things sometimes, sure, but you understand the top quarterbacks in the NFL, the most successful ones, have those traits to varying degrees, and whether that's the arm or the legs or in some cases best the best, both. But I had more concerns with Pickett than beyond kind of the obvious physical tools and the concerns there. I thought there was some issues with his pocket presence in terms of him bailing on clean pockets and drifting in the pocket too much, also issues with his carriage in the pocket. I think it's one reason why he fumbled the ball the way that he did. The hand size didn't concern me much. The age does not concern me much. Quarterbacks play until they're 40 years old, so I don't care if the dude's a year or two older. In some ways, that's probably made him more attractive, being a more accomplished starter and just a more experienced guy than a 21 or 22-year-old. So I don't think that hurt Pickett at all. And again, may have helped him. But yeah, I just think some of the intangible type stuff I had some concerns with, or some of the mechanical type stuff I think needs to be worked on, and it does not really get spoken to a whole lot. So I just didn't get that wow factor with Pickett, and even some of the pocket presence type stuff and carriage of the football type stuff to me was a concern beyond the lack of elite, and I would just call it probably an average physical tool set. So where do the Steelers go from here? Open competition, as Colbert and Tomlin framed it, between Mitch Trubisky, Mason Rudolph, and Kenny Pickett. So no idea who this team's starting quarterback is going to be week one. It could be, probably won't be Rudolph, but likely will be either Trubisky or Pickett, which I'm fine with. I don't like to tell quarterbacks they're going to sit right away. They're going to start right away, bring them to camp, see how they perform. And Pickett, I think, certainly will pick things up pretty quickly and is a good system fit for what Matt Canada wants to do in his offense. Last year with Ben, they didn't have, there was such a discrepancy between what Canada wanted to run and what Ben was really capable of running. And it was a very difficult kind of matchup between those two guys. And the compromise there really never worked well. It really felt like an awkward fit, the square peg in a round hole. Pickett's going to be a much cleaner fit, a much better fit for Canada's offense. Will that lead to success? Who the heck knows? But I think certainly it's a cleaner fit there. And I'm betting Canada, who recruited Pickett out of high school, was also driving the bus for the Steelers to take Kenny Pickett. So those are the quick thoughts. Day two of the draft coming up here. You can certainly see receiver, slot receiver in particular, safety, maybe offensive tackle. Watch out for guys like Sky Moore, the receiver from Western Michigan, Daniel Laley from Minnesota. I think makes a lot of sense. If they do go defensive line, the Marvin Leal from A&M, I think is a name to watch as well. But receiver, safety, potentially tackle, potentially defensive line. Obviously, this thing could go a lot of different ways. But day two will start Friday night. We'll have a lot of recap analysis of that, and also a lot of articles and reaction up on Steelers Depot this morning. That'll be Friday morning for Steelers Depot, recapping the Kenny Pickett pick. Again, not surprised by quarterback, all the homework they did. You had to think they liked one guy enough. They did. I was really confused by some of the, especially local media commentary leading up to the draft about it's a smoke screen. They're not taking a quarterback. They don't have interest in a quarterback. Really did not make sense to me, given all the homework they were doing. They were going to like somebody, and certainly the fact they all fell to Pittsburgh gave them their options, and they take Kenny Pickett. And so, not surprised by really the player, although it was hard to discern which one it was going to be, and certainly not surprised by the actual selection of a quarterback at number 20. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Kenny Pickett, the right pick, the wrong pick. Who would you have taken instead? If not Kenny Pickett, we'll pick it start week one. A ton of questions to throw at you guys. Let me know your answers in the comments below. Please like and subscribe. We'll have a lot of analysis on this draft class over the next 2 days and in the coming days after that. So please follow the channel, follow Steelers Depot. We're going to have a ton of information for you all. Appreciate you guys watching, and we'll talk to you soon.